Chelsea were absolutely robbed last night. There's no way that second equaliser should have counted, but I'm sure there's loads of stories about this all over the media about how it's the worst decision of all time. Oh, wait, there's not, even though it's clearly offside. Oh, right. As you can see, Django Ouattara is clearly offside here. Look, as you wins the flick on Django Ouattara, clearly in an offside position. Here's a better angle of it for you. You can clearly see he is behind Reece James here. That foot there is behind Reece James, is clearly in an offside position. Yes, he may not play the ball, he may not touch the ball, but he makes a very clear and obvious effort to flick it on, to get towards it. He moves his whole body towards the ball, flicks a leg at it, tries to win the ball, which then, of course, leads to Reece James committing to winning the ball as well, which ends up leading to the ball getting through. Now, it's clearly an intentional action. It's clearly a move towards the ball. It clearly affects the play. Look, Garnacho loses his man at the back post. That happens, right? We can all accept that, and that shouldn't happen. But if the player who literally intentionally goes to play the ball is offside, what are we doing? These are the basic rules of football. But it's all right. It didn't go Chelsea's way, so there won't be any stories about it. There won't be any news articles about it. There won't be any big reports on it. Match of the Day won't do a 30-minute segment on how it's the worst decision of all time. Danny Murphy won't do his, oh my God, it's a disgrace to football. Jamie Carragher, I just hate football. It's so unfair. We're not hear any of that. Because it just didn't go against Chelsea. Oh, right, I see.
Okay, so I quickly need to make this video because I did not see this at all. I didn't even see this until just now. But I'm going to show you something, and this is to do with Brentford's equaliser against Chelsea last night. And I want to see what you guys think of this. So, as I'm showing you here, this is the situation as the throw was taken. You know, that long throw that was taken, that led towards the goal. But if you see very clearly here, we all thought that the throw had gone all the way through to the player's path who tapped in the goal. Clearly not. And if you can see, the Brentford defender has actually flicked it on, right? And then you can see there that the player just in front, I think it's Tosin or Reece James. I can't actually see very well, but he's standing in an offside position, right? Now, flicking over to the next clip I've saved, you can see here he's actually interfered with the play. He's actually interfered with the play as the ball has been flicked on. Now, am I right or wrong to say that that's offside and the goal shouldn't have stood? Because if you had seen that VAR did get involved to see whether it was offside or not, they did, but they were very quickly to dismiss it. And it has already been put on the X page, offside side, well, for offside, that they've actually identified this as the first VAR offside error of the Premier League this season, because they have said that it's clearly an offside and it's an error. And for me, the goal shouldn't have stood, but VAR were clearly all right to dismiss it very, very quickly. And I want to see what you guys have to think, because for me, if that's the case, then it shouldn't have stood and Chelsea should have won the game, because the defender has flicked the ball on. The player is standing in an offside position where he's interfered with play because he has stopped Reece James from reaching the ball to clear it, and it's gone through them and the guy has tapped it in. So I want you guys to tell me whether this goal shouldn't have stood or not, and should have Chelsea won the game? Because looking at this, Chelsea should have won the game. Now, I know a lot of you are probably going to think that, oh, he's going on about it because he was salty after last night's watch-along. Well, look on who also have been victims of this over the years. I mean, look, Arsenal can say that they've been victims about this over the years, and other teams that have played against Liverpool and Man City, who are two clubs that have gotten away with so many things with VAR, they've been victims of things as well, such as this. So I just want to see what you guys think. I think it's offside and the goal shouldn't have stood and Chelsea should have won the game. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments.
Well, would you look at that? A wrong call for Chelsea. And I understand this all did happen against Fulham. But stick with me for just a second as I explain this. When the throw-in came, Utara is definitely offside. He tries playing the ball. Doesn't matter, he completely misses the ball. He tries playing the ball, which again throws Reece James off, not understanding if he should play the ball or play the man. Somehow then VAR never checks, even the automatic offside somehow missed. I understand, it's Chelsea, they deserve this for the most part, but listen. If this was the wrong call, everyone absolutely crazy online, social media, punditry, everyone. This match will be remembered at the end of the season, if not even to the next season. This call, though, will probably be forgotten by next week. What I mean by that, by week 38, depending on where Chelsea are at, people will now understand Chelsea lost 2 points in this match. But they will bring this one up saying how Chelsea shouldn't have got a single point in this match. So do the calls even out? Probably, but yet people will forget about this and just say everything's been favoring Chelsea all season.
Two ridiculous decisions from VAR and Premier League referees yesterday. One went against Chelsea, one went against Spurs. So as an Arsenal fan, it would be very easy to sit here and just ignore it, but we can't. We have to call this stuff out. This is a blatant offside. It is textbook offside. The ball is flicked on by the Brentford player. Uwatara is clearly offside when it is flicked on, and he very clearly attempts to play the ball. He misses it, he makes no contact. That is irrelevant. It impacts Reece James' ability to play the ball, and by the letter of the law, clearly attempting to play a ball which is close when this action impacts an opponent is offside. That is what he does, undoubtedly. There is no way around it. And yet somehow VAR doesn't intervene to rule that goal out. And some people might say, well, Chelsea had a decision against Fulham and a decision against Crystal Palace that benefited them. That's not the way it works. We never find a solution if we go, oh, well, they deserved it because they got a decision last week. Like, that's not how it should work. And equally, and this decision ultimately didn't impact the result, this was an outrageous decision to give this as a foul, to disallow the goal, for VAR to then not say, go and have a look at that. Because Romero isn't fouling Walker-Peters here in the first place, right? Then you say, well, maybe it was because Van de Ven pushed Walker-Peters. Well, Van de Ven's giving a piggyback at this point. That is just as much of a foul on him as it was on Walker-Peters. And again, like, at least make the referee go and look at it again. Because he has clearly guessed. The referee has not actually seen what's happened when he's given this foul. He's seen a player go down and he's guessed that there was a foul involved. That's not the way to referee. And then because he's made that guess, and well, there's a bit of contact, VAR doesn't intervene. It's a shambles.
Was the goal yesterday offside? Yes, it was offside. So, what did VAR actually do? There was no clear impact. What? There was no intervention. Otara didn't do enough, apparently. And for that reason, he wasn't offside. Hang on. So we can clearly see that an impact has been made, an attempt has been made. Not just that, and this is important to make, he's blocking Sanchez's view. That no one's talking about that. I've seen not even some Chelsea fans have mentioned that, but I want to pinpoint that because it's important. And that is another reason, because he's the goalkeeper who needs to make a save. If the offside player is blocking your view, then he is already, without even going for the ball, he is already involved. He is blocking the vision. He blocked the vision and attempted to kick the ball. He went for it. I don't understand.
After further analysis, that goal yesterday was not fully Garnacho's fault. The problem that Chelsea fans had yesterday is the fact that Garnacho was not marking that back post, and the fact that he lost concentration and allowed Fabio Carvalho to score the equalising goal. But I've come to realise that goal shouldn't have counted either way. Right here you can see clearly Brentford forward Otara being offside, and the player that passed to Carvalho was Otara himself, who was already offside. But did VAR check this? No, they didn't at all. We saw after they scored the goal, VAR checked something so quickly, but no one spoke about it, even the commentators didn't mention it. But a lot of people are talking about how Chelsea have had this coming after the incidents against Fulham and Crystal Palace. But at the end of the day, what's the point of having VAR if they're not going to use it right? But VAR aside, there's another issue with this defending right here. Why are there so many Chelsea players going for one ball? I can only see one Brentford player in this picture and about 5 Chelsea players covering him. Instead of being around one player, they could have easily been covering the rest of the players inside the box. We could definitely blame VAR for how inconsistent it is, but at the end of the day, Chelsea have to fix up with their defending. But a lot of Chelsea fans need to realise it wasn't Garnacho's full fault. I have to say my bad to him. He did make a little mistake at the end, but at the end of the day that happens. He's still a young player and we need to give him time.